I've grown quite a few successful accounts on Instagram to hundreds of thousands of followers. I've also grown other pages to over 1 million followers across all my pages combined. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can go from 0 to 10,000 followers if you're just starting out. And so the first thing you need to do is you need to first pick the right niche. Now, when it comes to picking the right niche, specifically, not even worrying about making money with this, but just about the growth, you need to do two things. First, choose a niche with high viral potential because this is going to make your life so much easier. Imagine I told you you had to grow a page in the volleyball niche to 1 million followers, right? A page posting about volleyball. That'd be nearly impossible to do, right? Because look at the most followed volleyball player in the world, or look at the most followed volleyball account in the world. It's like a couple 100,000 followers because it's not a popular sport. Not many people watch it. Now, what if I told you, okay, you need to grow an account to 1 million followers in the soccer niche? That's a lot easier because there's literally thousands of accounts out there in the soccer niche which have over 1 million followers. That's because there's just so many more people on their phones scrolling who are interested in that niche, in that topic, in that sport. And so you need to choose a niche with high viral potential where what you're posting will apply to a lot of people, and a lot of people are going to be interested in that content. Because putting in the same amount of effort into a volleyball page and a basketball or a soccer page, you'll get way more results with the soccer page than the volleyball one, right? Even if you're doing the exact same kind of video, same exact quality, everything like that, you'll just get better results here because Instagram has more people to push the videos to. I'm not saying those are good niches. I don't recommend doing niches really around sports, but just using those as examples. The second thing which you need to do, and I have actually made this mistake myself. By the way, if you have any questions throughout the video, leave a comment below. I try to reply to every single one and drop a like on the video. If I actually made this mistake as well, just being fully transparent with my account. And it's not really a mistake, but it's not a required thing, but you do want your niche to be evergreen. So when I say it's evergreen, an evergreen tree is like a Christmas tree. Those trees last the whole year round. You want to have a niche like that where the niche never dies off, it never falls off. It's not just like some trend which comes and goes. And you want one which is just going to stay there the whole way through. Because the last thing you want is to build this huge page and then all of a sudden, the trend dies or the kind of content just isn't popular anymore and your views just drop, people stop watching your page and all that kind of stuff, right? So you need a niche that's evergreen. Now, I actually, with my Andrew Tate page, I actually kind of made this mistake somewhat. I mean, for example, if you look at like just views, right? Back in a couple years ago when Andrew Tate, or even just last summer when I was posting Andrew Tate videos, it was so easy to get views with him, like so easy. Compared to now, it's gotten quite a bit harder, and that's because obviously he's just nowhere near as popular as he used to be like a couple years ago, right? And so naturally it's just going to be harder like that. So for example, my other pages, it's totally fine because those niches are never going to die. Those topics and kinds of content is people are always going to be interested in those. So you just want to keep that in mind. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to do account research. So once you have an idea of a niche, by the way, I'm going to have a free gift for you, by the way, if you stick to the end of this video. But when it comes to actually like creating your account, setting up your account and stuff, the best way to do that is just to model after other people. So look for other accounts in your niche. And you've probably heard the saying that you are the product of the 5 friends you spend the most time with. And it's very similar where with pages, your page is going to be the product of the pages, the 5 pages or however many pages that you model yours after. So you model yours after in terms of the way you set up your logo and the kind of username you use, what you put in your bio, the kind of content you're going to post, the kind of people you're trying to reach, all that kind of stuff, right? And so when it comes to creating your account, just model the layout with the bio, the content style, the profile picture as well, whatever you may be putting there, the username. So if I was gonna like model after this account, which this is my account by the way, I would, for example, make a very, very similar logo, right? Where it's a black background or just a simple 2-color logo, no fancy stuff on it, just very simple, recognizable, people will remember it and stuff. For example, the username, I'd keep it very simple, just like this. Just keep it very similar to what's already working. And then what I would do is I'd research successful accounts and I'd specifically research content in my niche. So I've done this with pretty much all my pages, whether it's like money, motivational pages or entertain pages or whatever it is, or my gym page or like when I'm creating content, it all comes down to just researching successful accounts and content in your niche. And you guys have heard me say this a million times if you watch my videos, and I said it a million times because it's so incredibly important. You're not here to reinvent the wheel or become Albert Einstein or Isaac Newton and invent gravity or something like that, right? We're just making Instagram reels here, all right? So we're just making Instagram reels. And so all you need to do is just research successful content from other people and just remodel it. Now, you want to look for 2 things when you're doing this. The first thing you want to look for is that the kind of content you're going to repurpose or recreate from them is that first, it's simple. So you don't want to go and like see someone who edited their video with Adobe Premiere in like 4K quality, all perfect, and then be like you sitting there on your phone with CapCut and be like, yeah, I'm going to recreate this. Like, no, you're probably not going to recreate this. So look for simple video styles which you can recreate. And then also on top of that, you want to look for outliers. So look for videos which have performed well for other people in comparison to their other videos and their other views and stuff like that, right? Because if it was an outlier for them, there's a very high chance that it's going to be an outlier for you when you post it as well. And like I said, reminder, don't reinvent the wheel. By the way, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. Now the next thing is going viral on your videos. So once you've done the second step, and there's a little bit more to the second step than what I'm going over now, but once you've gone to the second step, then you want to become really, after that, you want to become really scientific around creating your videos. And I always say, when you're first creating your account, the first focus should just be reps. It should just be pumping out a ton of videos. So, you know, you always hear people talking about like quality versus quantity. When you first created a brand new account, you're at 0 followers. Focus on, man, my brain's just gone dead here. Focus on, no, don't focus on quality, but quantity. There we go. I just, the word blanked in there. Focus on quantity, right? When you're first starting out with your account, focus on quantity, because when you're first starting out, you're not going to know how to do anything, right? And so if you're first starting out and you're like, okay, I want to create this perfect video, your first video is not going to be perfect because it is your first video. And so you just need to focus on quantity, because the first way you're ever going to get better at that is just by just pumping out reps and just getting a general sense of how to edit videos, what to even do. It's kind of like if you wanted to learn how to shoot a basketball for the first time, your first ever shot, right? Your first ever shot for the first ever time in your life, you're not going to be worrying about like, am I holding my ball at a 35-degree angle and arching my back and all this weird stuff. You're just going to put up a couple shots and get a feel for it, right? So when you're first starting with a brand new account, just focus on quantity like crazy. Just pump out as much content within reason as you possibly can. And then once you've gotten enough out there, you've gotten a little bit of experience, then you want to kind of draw it back and focus on quality. And still try to keep a decent amount of quantity, but focus in on the quality. And you want to become really scientific about the videos you're posting, and really focus on like, I'm going to really think through what I'm doing with this video. I'm going to try to make this one as good as possible. I'm going to try to edit this as well as possible and become very scientific with it. Because when you're first starting out, like when you're just pumping out those reps, that should be enough to get your page to, you know, like a couple hundred to a couple thousand views per video. If you're averaging like 1 or 2, maybe 3,000 views per video, when you're at that point, all it takes is one viral video where you get like 600k views, 700k views, and then the rest of your account from then on, you're averaging like 5 to 10,000 views, 15,000 views, and your whole account just picks up after one video like that. So you just need one video. Now, when it comes to going viral on your videos, right, a lot of people, there's just so much nonsense in this space when it comes to going viral and getting views on your videos. Like, oh, you have to post at this specific time and just like pray the algorithm's gonna favor you or help you out and stuff like that. Like, it's nothing like that at all. It's just pure maths. Does your video have high retention? Yes. Okay, Instagram's gonna push you. Does your video have high engagement? Yes, Instagram's gonna push you. It's as simple as that. Now, with these, a lot of people also get confused and they get the idea that you need both to get good views. You don't need both. It's nice if you have both. It's nice if you have high retention and high engagement. That's good, and that's obviously the best possible scenario. But all you need is one of those to go viral. And if you look at, for example, my Cobra Lessons page, I get pretty decent views on there. I get the occasional viral video. Like recently, yesterday, I posted 2 videos. I got 1.6 million views so far, and the other one has like over 1 million now. And so, you know, I'll get like the occasional viral video. And that page, Cobra Lessons, for me, has horrible engagement, actually. Not very good engagement at all. Like, I had a video which had 1.6 million views, and I think it only had 20,000 likes. That was the one I was talking about just now. I posted it the other day. Like, 20,000 likes for 1.6 million views is not good engagement. But the video still did well because it had insanely high retention. The video was 36 seconds long, and the average view duration was 30 seconds. So people were like watching the whole video pretty much. So the retention was just insanely high, so my video got pushed. On the other hand, if you look at my gym page, if you go through the analytics there, you'll see that the retention on those videos is horrible. Like, absolutely horrendously bad. My videos will be like 20 to 30, 40 seconds long-ish, and I'll get like average watch time of on average 10 to 15 seconds, which is very, very bad retention. But my engagement is just insanely high on that page. Insanely high. It's like unreal engagement in terms of the followers, the shares, the saves are really, really big when I get an insane amount of saves on my videos there. And so the high engagement pushes those videos, right? So you only need one or the other, and only focus on one or the other, because if you try to focus on both, you actually end up getting neither. I talked about this in my previous video. But if you try to aim for both, you actually end up getting neither. It's kind of like jack of all trades, master of none. If you just disperse all your resources in your video across both, like you're trying to get high retention and you're trying to get high engagement, it doesn't really work very well. Just focus on one and let the other one. Oh goodness. Just had some kind of bug crawling up my leg there, and let the other one just naturally happen, right? By the way, I have a private community where I help you with training courses, have full courses. All I say is if you find my YouTube videos helpful, imagine how much better my community would be, where I put a ton of effort into it. You also get one-on-one access to me with calls, messages, great community, and stuff like that. If you're interested, just click the top link in the bio if you want to join that. But so yeah, when it comes to engagement though, it's just simple metrics. Like you're looking at this top screenshot here. You're looking at like what is my like rate? You know, if you get 100,000 views, what percent of those like the video? What percent of those save the video? What percent of those share the video? Things like that. The most important metrics for those are shares. Shares and saves are the two most important. And then watch time is just, you know, the actual watch time of the video doesn't really matter. Like what's the total watch time, that doesn't really have an effect on the video. It's what the average watch time is. So if your video is 10 seconds, what's the average view duration that people watch out of that, right? And so that's the average watch time. So then you want to turn views into followers, right? So now you're getting some views, right? Maybe you got a couple viral videos, you use some of those tips and stuff, and you got some videos which have gotten good views. Now that you're getting those views, you want to turn those views into followers, because what's the point in having all the views in the world if you're not getting followers from it, right? And the followers, that's what's going to allow you to be very consistent with your views, right? Because you know, if you have 100,000 followers, even if you post a really crappy video, you're still going to get 10, 15,000 views at least, right? And so this is what's going to really help your page out to get consistent reach over time. Like with my Cobra Lessons page, even if I post a horrendous video, like a really, really bad video, horrible metrics, I'll at the bare minimum get like 15 to 20,000 views. Sometimes there have been like one or two posts which have gotten less than that, but it's almost never less than that, right? Even if I post a horrible video, and that's because I've gotten the followers there, so I get consistent views over time with it, right? And so some videos, when it comes to this, right, first of all, you need to understand some video styles just naturally bring followers, right? Some videos will just, like the style of the video and the way it's formatted and stuff, they'll just naturally bring you followers compared to other videos. So like videos, for example, where it's viewed by a lot of your non-followers, that's obviously going to get you a lot of new people following you. This is a big thing. A lot of people, they're like, I'm getting these views, but you know, I'm not getting any followers from it. It's because 70% of your views are from your followers, people already following you. So like only 1/3 of your views are from people who could even follow you from that video, if that makes sense. So there's things like that. You'll see video styles where it's like, you know, you have like a call to actions at the end. They're obviously going to get a bunch of followers for you. Or if you have a video style where it's like, you know, POV, you finally found a page that posts the best X content, or the best whatever content it is. And so you need to, certain video styles will just work. And the proof of this, like if you look at some of my videos, I have ranging aspects of it, right? So you want to think about like how many followers am I getting per million views? So if I get 1 million views, how many followers am I getting from that? I literally have videos where from 1 million views, I've gotten over 10,000 followers, which is insane. 1 million views and I've gotten over 10,000 followers. Like one of my videos got like 11K followers and it had 1.1-ish million views. So just insane numbers, right? 1 million views, 10,000 followers-ish, right? I've also had other views where for 1 million followers, I've literally got less than like 200 or 300 views. So just think about the difference there. So you just need to understand some videos will naturally bring you followers, some videos naturally won't. This just is intuition, and it just takes experience to understand what kind of videos will and what kind of videos won't. But what you can do is you can add call to actions. So you can add call to actions in your caption, and you can also add them in your pinned comment. So a lot of people they underestimate the power of a pinned comment, because with a pinned comment, oh goodness, dude, this freaking bug is it's messing up my video. So with a pinned comment, a lot of people who scroll on your video, they're going to open up the comment section and they're going to read it. And they see that first comment. You have like for example, what I'll just say like, follow at Cobra Lesson for the best content. Follow at Gym Slayer for the best content or whatever it is, right? And so you can use CTAs in your caption and then also use them in your pinned comment. And it's not going to absolutely transform your following, but it's going to help out quite a bit. I would estimate you could probably gain about 30% more followers than you would from your videos if you put this there. And so you could just put simple ones like this. You could also put it in your video as well. So you could put a simple thing like this, for example. You could put it, if your video, for example, has an AI voice reading something out, like some of mine do, you could do that. If you just want to flash it on text across the screen, follow for more, follow for the best content, simple stuff like that. It's the simple stuff which makes a big difference. Now, if you're a complete beginner to this though, right? Like you don't have a page yet and stuff like that, then before you're even worrying about this though, you need to first just take time to go through and select your niche. And so if you want help with selecting your niche, I'll put a full video breakdown somewhere here on the screen. You can click on that. That video is just going to explain to you how to actually select your niche, go in full depth and in full detail on that, because like I said, if you haven't created an account yet, that is going to be the first step. So click on that video, go watch that video on how to select your niche, and yeah, hope you found this video valuable and useful.